I'd like to share my experience on the aspect of talking to the baby in the womb. So, my concept is happy and mother and healthy baby. In my practice, I used to sit with the mothers during labor. So, at that time, I noticed that these mothers, after a short while, they give up, they feel anxious. They'll say, I cannot make it anymore, and we had to go for C section. Then at that time, I noticed these mothers, their attitude was like a student totally unprepared and facing the examinations. Then I thought, during pregnancy, we can prepare them well and motivate them and go for a delivery. Then at that time, I started talking to them, telling about pregnancy and delivery process and all. What happened was, at that time, I was asking the family, especially husband and elders, to support them. They were not able to understand my point. So they were telling, she is happy, there is no stress, we are looking after her very well, and we are telling her not to get tense. So they are not telling them positively, reassuring her that we are there for you, you can make it. These two sentences they are not able to tell. So when then I decided family is not going to be of much help. Then to a certain extent, I tried to educate and motivate our staff to be friendly with them. So that worked to a certain extent. Still, I realized during pregnancy itself, the mother is anxious and stressful. Even though she is very well educated, she knows about pregnancy and delivery process from books and net. In spite of that, going to a very good doctor and taking good treatment, pregnancy is not a joy. Sometimes, all of a sudden, she becomes happy this minute, becomes anxious, stressful the very next minute. Everything together happening very quickly. She is not able to share her stress with either husband or with parents or friends. This I noticed repeatedly is because for two reasons. For fear of judgment, what they will think about me, why making them also stressful. For these reasons, she is carrying the stress, and most of them, because they are working women, added to this work stress, job environment, that stress also is added. So even before she can come out of the stress by herself, one more stress is added. So there is time is less for her to come out of the stress on her own. Even while doing yoga, meditation, to a certain extent it helps. But her inner feelings, her beliefs, her fears, her sense of emotions, about worries, all these things only when they are opened up, when they are shared with others, when there's doubt or cleared very specifically, then she becomes happy, less anxious, relaxed. And this I wanted them to understand. And so, family didn't understand. The mother, though, because of the doctor patient relationship, is very formal, they are not free to open up. To a certain extent, the counselors whom we have trained, our own staff, to some of them, they are able to open up, and we were able to guide them, clear their doubts, and they become positive. So that was there, but that was only to a certain extent it was working. But I wanted to find out a technique where the mother herself use it and becomes happy and confident without anybody's assistance or help, because most of the times it is she who has to have the help, and most of the times external help is not available all the time. So I was reading books and I was asking many of our sociology, psychology friends. In that search, I also observed during pregnancy, when the mother is stressful, sometimes the physical symptoms are recurring. For example, they will be coming with recurrent urinary infection, recurrent tightness of abdomen. When it is recurring and there is not a physical cause, most of the times there is an emotional reason underlying it. And similarly, I thought whether any positive thing would help them. So I had also observed when the mother is happy and positive, the physical factors are able to overcome, but that happens occasionally, rarely. I will share one example. It's long time back, and that woman was carrying twins for the that was her fifth pregnancy, and she was coming from a long distance also. She was anemic, she had urinary infection, and she was breathless even at the 6th month. So then I said it is going to be difficult for her. Then the husband said, if the hemoglobin increases, if her infection gets controlled, will you be able to take it up? I said, okay. Then the next time she came, she was a quite normal person. Her hemoglobin increased and her infection subsided. When I asked, she said, I wanted to give these children as a gift to my husband. She was telling, I am thinking that these children would be like Ram and Lakshman because it is twins. So I wanted this child to be a gift to my husband. So for the love for the husband, I'll do anything. I took all the prescribed medicine and also the diet. And I wanted my HB to improve and my infection to go off because I am motivated to give these children to my husband as a gift. Seeing her conviction, then I understood how one can overcome physical issues very quickly in a matter of a month. Then her delivery was uneventful and she had twins just as she expected, and she was very happy. But the self motivation will be lacking in many of them. So, what is any technique for self motivation? I was searching at that time. North Indian mother, she was antenatal mother, she was coming for checkup. And for the past 2-3 times, I was observing she used to come alone because her husband was a very busy executive. And she was always smiling, no complaints whatsoever. So I asked her, are you not bored? Are you not scared to come alone? Because this language is very new to her. Then she smiled and said, no, because I'm not alone. I am with my baby. Both of us will be talking together, cooking together, shopping together. I said, where is your baby? Then she showed her tummy and said, whenever I used to talk silently or whenever I used to talk loudly, my baby used to move and respond. So I know my baby is with me. Because of that, the company of my baby, I'm not alone. I'm not scared. So that was my eureka moment, because I understood what should have been otherwise very stressful, anxious period of pregnancy, that has been made into very positive experience of happiness and confidence. It is mainly because of the talking to the baby. So then I realized this is what I have been searching for. So then I thanked her. I understood movement is the language of the unborn baby. So I was all jubilant and excited, and I wanted to try it. Then I started telling others. most of the times, because I had seen the effect, and she had gone for delivery to her native place. She had a easy delivery, and she came back in the fifth month with the baby was all smiling. Then I realized, okay, baby is also very good. Then I started telling all the mothers, antenatal mothers, to talking to the baby. They used to look at me, give a smile, and go off without telling anything. I kept on telling for nearly 1 year. Then I started, it is a very difficult situation, because I am passionate. It is my hunger, my madness. They're not aware of it. So they are not able to understand it. They are not able to accept it. When I was about to give up hope, then one mother posted after delivery, she said, "Yes, I had been talking to the baby. I used to talk in the bathroom and also in the terrace. And now I understand." After 1 month after delivery, she said, "I used to listen to Om Namah Shivaya chanting. And now also when I play it, the baby looks at me, smiles, and then sleeps very peacefully. And when whatever we are able to talk, baby is able to understand and respond through his eyes." That gave me a lot of confidence. So with renewed vigor, I started advocating it. Initially, my staff also didn't understand, but slowly, over a period of years, they also they saw the results, and they are also convinced. And slowly, the journey of talking to the baby progressed. So, and from then, I was able to read about it. I was able to get the feedback. This is how I started. It is to overcome the fear and anxiety of the mother. So, oh, so that pregnancy will be smooth, and it will be helpful for delivery also. Then, after some time, when I was sharing my experiences with my family, my brother asked me to write a book on the experiences for the benefit of the society. It was then I started reading, searching for any material for supportive evidence. It was then I realized I read so many books, and people have been talking about conscious parenting and the mechanism of it. Then I realized this is a very good technique. It has a scientific reason, and that I'm going to share with you. But it is purely an accidental finding. But what I was searching for, I got it later. I developed it for other reasons, for molding of the development of the personality of the baby and things like that. Now let us see how the mechanism of the talking to the baby. This is the baby, and this is the placenta. This is the umbilical cord connecting the baby. So, what happens along with the oxygen and nutrients, mother's feelings also pass through the blood to the baby. So, that is what probably the proverb they say, blood is thicker than water, because the emotions also pass through the blood. And another thing, important thing, what we need to know is, when the mother is happy, happy hormones like endorphins, serotonins, all they pass on through the blood to the baby, and baby shares the same feeling as that of the mother. And when the mother is stressful, and when it is a chronic stress, cortisol is passed from mother to the baby, and the baby also has the same feeling as that of the mother. And this has been proved scientifically. Cortisol level increasing with the mother, stress level is high. So, and another important thing is, baby's subconscious mind is very well developed. In Vedic scriptures also it is said, during pregnancy baby is like a very good soil, fertile soil. Whatever we sow in it, it grows very well. That is, whatever thoughts in the form of seeds, if we put, it develops, grows very strongly into the baby. Because here we say the subconscious mind is very well developed. So we'll now see about the subconscious mind. This is conscious mind. This is upper part of the on the surface of the water. And what is inside the submerged portion is 90% that is the subconscious mind, and 10% is the conscious mind. And subconscious mind is like a disc with the recorded program of or song. So whatever song is recorded, when played, the same song only will be heard. This is what we need to understand. So subconscious mind, whatever is programmed, that comes into action. So what song is recorded only will come out. We cannot get any other song in spite of our any other efforts also. So only the recording has to change. So whatever is recorded, so here the recording is our thoughts, mother's thoughts. So if the mother's thought is positive, it is passed on to the baby, and the recording occurs, continues. The subconscious mind is it is a receiving mind, it is an executive mind, and it will not question. It is not connected to external world. Doesn't know what is real, what is imaginary. It doesn't ask questions like what is, whether it is right or wrong. Whatever you saw, like a sponge, it absorbs everything. That is why, our elders used to say, anything negative don't tell. They'll be tatastu devatalu. Whatever we say, if he says tadastu, it will come to happen. So even though they didn't know like this science, conscious, subconscious mind, they were very careful, very cautious in telling during pregnancy, made the mothers to be positive by themselves, by reading scriptures and telling only positive things, keeping her happy by way of traditions and customs. So this is how they prepared the mother, happy mother and confident mother, giving her all moral support. So the babies were healthy and happy. Nowadays we are giving all physical comforts, luxuries, but mentally we are not able to keep them relaxed. And another thing is having doubt is taking a precaution, and being anxious is taking interest. This is how we are conditioning ourselves. So that is the problem of present condition. So here the subconscious mind, if the mother is happy, then the baby is happy. And if the mother is stressful, anxious, it is passed on because the baby's subconscious mind is dominant, very well developed during pregnancy. So the conscious mind, that is, it's a questioning mind. It comprises only 10% of the brain. It questions. It receives information through five senses. That is, it is connected to the external world, and it can question. It analyzes and takes a decision. So the subconscious mind is an executive mind. Conscious mind is a analytical mind, and subconscious mind is a habit mind also. So whatever is recorded, so that comes to action. So whether in the thinking way or in the action, for example, we keep learning cooking or driving. In the initial stages we do it consciously, and after some time it is so much recorded that we can do it well in the brain. We'll be talking to them and doing the driving. We can talking to them and do the cooking very easily. It is because it is recorded in the subconscious mind that we can do it very well. So that it is carried out. It is in like an autopilot mode. So that is how the subconscious mind works in the form of beliefs. That is why many things happens. Most of the things runs based on our belief system. So unless we see it very carefully, certain things we get stuck in the same habit, whether it is physical or mental, not able to come out of it. we have to erase our governing beliefs and then rewrite, reprogram it. Then we can change, bring about the change. So that is why the initial recording is occurs during pregnancy. That is why we ask them, the mothers, to know, see this reality, take up the responsibility and mold the child during pregnancy. And this recording, sometimes it can last a lifetime also. That is why it is called from womb to tomb. Like in the wet cement, if the baby is very sensitive, so it can, the programming can be have a very deep impression. Certain things, the baby, the person retains till the life. Dr. Thomas Verney, who has done lot of work on perinatal psychology, who has written a book, Secret Life of Unborn Child and Pre-Parenting. He says, when the person grows up, whether he is happy or sad, meek or aggressive, anxious or secure, depends partly on the messages he receives about himself during pregnancy. That is, so if the mother's thoughts, mother's beliefs about the baby, so that is how it goes on, even as the person grows up. This we see. One mother used to tell me, she conceived the first time soon after marriage. At that time, her mother-in-law was there. She was so much obedient and apprehensive of the mother-in-law. So for whatever doing, she has to have a go from the mother-in-law. So the first child born to her, even as a son is, both the sons are grown up, the elder son will always ask his mother, always dependent on his mother. Whereas 5 years later, the second son was born. At that time, mother-in-law was not there. She became confident, used to manage the household on her own. And she says the second son born after 5 years is exactly like her mental attitude at the time of during pregnancy. The second son is more independent. So she shared that these children's attitude exactly reflected her own mental attitude during pregnancy. So this is how it happens. Dr. Bruce Lipton, who has done a lot of work on epigenetics, he says that the children's gene reflect only their potential, not their destiny. That means even in intelligence, 49% depends on the genes and 51% on the environment. So mother's thoughts play a major role in influencing the baby's health and also intelligence. So when the mother is positive, then the baby's health, happiness, and behavior, everything can be molded. That is why people say, when the mother's intention is strong and father's support is there, then the pregnancy is going to be successful in every aspect. And Dr. Bruce Lipton says the best growth promoter is love, and not the fanciest school or highest paying job or biggest toy. So that is how the mother must feel all the love for the baby and be positive during pregnancy, so that it will have a longer impact on the baby. He is a Bulgarian philosopher. So he says, based on his vast experience, he has written a book called Education Begins Before Birth. So based on his observation, he says when the mother is happy and has lofty feelings, the baby will be healthy, beautiful physically and also in characters, and the person can be able to overcome diseases, difficulties, and evil influences. To say this, he must have had a vast experience over a long time, and not only the positive things, negative also. He says when the mother has a negative attitude, the baby will be pessimistic or sickly. So this is about the mechanism of action of the talking to the baby, the mother's feeling shared to the baby, to the subconscious mind. And one more thing, what we need to know, once the mother shares her love and her feelings for the baby, and the baby gets aligned with the mother, then the magic occurs. So once the being of the baby is in complete alignment with the mother, even sometimes casually she may think, she may wish something, the baby is able to execute at the appropriate time when the after it is born. For example, one mother was telling, so we used to tell about an African culture where the mothers used to carry the baby at the back, and mothers could sense the urges of the baby. So before he could soil for urine or motion, the mother used to get the baby down so that her clothes will not be soiled. So that is a sign of good parenting in an African culture. So here, when I was telling it, some of the mothers, they practiced this and shared their experience. One mother mm, who heard it, oh, this is nice, I never know about it. That's what she never told her baby to do like that. But after birth, she found her baby is also behaving exactly like when it wants to pass nature's call urine or motion, it would give a peculiar sound. Then the mother will understand and do the necessary things. So this is how the mother's feelings and the baby, when it gets aligned, results will be truly magical. And we'll see the five senses are very well developed for the baby during pregnancy. Of the five senses, the touch and the hearing are very well developed. Touch is developed from the third week of pregnancy, and hearing by 20 weeks, baby can hear. By 23 weeks, any loud sound, baby can respond also. And taste and smell, from 8th week onwards, it start developing. By 7th month, baby will be able to feel the smell, and also even recognize the taste of what the mother eats. So some of the mothers will tell, my baby likes ice cream or chicken. And one person was telling, my baby loves continental coffee. So much the observation of the mothers, they are able to know what the baby likes. Around 7th month, baby is able to open the eyes. By 8th month, it can follow a bright light shone on the abdomen. These are the tests, senses developed during pregnancy. So when the mothers are happy, what happens? The studies show that the pregnancy is very uneventful, and the delivery also trouble free. The babies will be healthy both physically and emotionally. And when the mother is negative attitude, there'll be devastating medical issues during pregnancy, sometimes severe hypertension, uncontrolled diabetes, or recurrent infections, threatened abortion, threatened preterm labor. Like that, they'll have a lot of issues. And babies also, sometimes they'll have end up in premature labor, low birth weight, and the babies will be emotionally disturbed. And if the baby keeps on crying, not able to feed well, we'll know that the mother was anxious during pregnancy. So, for better understanding to practice the talk to baby technique, I divided into three steps, because the important requirement for practicing talking to the baby is the willingness of the mother, and she has to willingly accept it and believe it. Only then it will have a desired outcome. Many of them, we are all logic people. So, for them to understand, I followed this technique, because based on the feedback, I realized when the mothers listen to a song, what they like, the baby starts responding. So, at that time, mother should select a song which she likes. When she starts playing it regularly, then after some time, around 6th month, the baby starts giving movement. So once she understands the movement is a very regular consistent movement, then she knows baby is able to listen, and baby is able to enjoy and respond through the moments. And these moments are not casual moments. We once we observe it, after a few days, as soon as the song is played, the baby starts moving. Sometimes mother will be reading scriptures and books. At that time also baby will start moving, giving an indication that baby is also enjoying that. So these moments will be specific moments, spontaneous moments, and they will be prompt and consistent. It will not one day it will move, another it will not be there. So this shows that the baby is able to express its enjoyment, liking for that. And one mother was telling, so in a song, for a particular 2 or 3 lines only baby will move. That means those 2 3 lines it likes very much. So like that, this feedbacks gives us the feeling, makes the mother feel, yes, my baby is able to hear, enjoy the song. When it is able to respond to the song, it can also respond to our words. So once the mother is convinced, then she is able to talk. That is the second step, introducing herself and the family members. Mother says, introduces herself, husband, and the family. And also mother starts developing bonding with the baby. So once she starts talking, after some time slowly baby moves and responds. Mother shares her likes and dislikes, and also involves baby in all the activities, like we are cooking now, we are going out for shopping, we are going to temple or some auntie's house, like that. So and as the mother says, the baby will respond as a note of understanding. And sometimes as the pregnancy and as this interaction improves, the mother understands the baby's likes and dislikes. Many of them will be sharing, my baby doesn't like some dish like non-veg, which the mother likes very much. So that during pregnancy she'll develop aversion for that particular dish which she liked very much earlier before pregnancy. And baby will express its love and affection for her husband voice. Even though if it is a phone, baby will start moving as soon as it listens to the voice. So like that, baby mother is able to know baby's likes and dislikes also. Like that, the bonding improves between the mother and baby. So this, once the mother feels knows, she kind of knows the baby she's carrying before it is born. So once she is confident about it, next comes the third step. It is called soul seeding. That is, the mother expresses dreams for the baby, do's and don'ts. You should not be like this. You should do like this and all. She will tell. And also here the two things what she talks to the baby about the person, about the qualities of the baby. One is being, that is as a personality, you should be like this and all your characters should be like this. So this is called being, developing the being. That is the personality development. For example, Prahalada. So listening to Narada's discourses, the baby developed into a very great devotee of Lord Srihari, and that is the character of the character has been molded during pregnancy. The other thing is having, that is one particular this ability or achievement or skill. It is Abhimanyu. So that particular skill of entering into Padma Vyuha was taught during pregnancy. So this is the two things, being and having. So we can develop both, being particular character, and also some people will tell you must be healthy, focus on health alone. Some people will tell you must become very good in sports or music, like that. Along with that, this having qualities, we must tell about the being also, how good a person you must be. That is very important. And for the present day, this character building is very very important. So let us see the benefits of talk to the baby. We all know from this experiences that the mother becomes happy because of developing of the bonding with the baby. So what happens, this helps the mother happy, the pregnancy smooth without much of any problems. And so many of them with who has recurrent abortions, they use this technique as a very helpful one, as a golden opportunity. So they overcome problems, very trouble free pregnancy, and they have a very good child. And another thing is, it is very useful during a normal delivery also. Many of the mothers who practice talk to baby during labor time, they'll tell, come quickly, come quickly, I'm waiting for you. Like that they will be telling the baby. Other thing is, when the first child is mentally or physically challenged, when the mother talks to the baby now during pregnancy, that this baby should be supportive of the older child, that also happens exactly after delivery. We have seen cases like that. Now we will see a short video clipping, the mother who says her experience.
ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత కన్ఫామ్ అయిన తర్వాత కూడా నాకు చాలా టెన్షన్ గా ఉంది. అంటే నిలుస్తుందా లేదా, అబార్షన్ అయిపోతుందేమో, ఒకవేళ నిలిచినా గానీ ఎట్లాంటి బేబీ పుడుతుందో అని చెప్పి చాలా టెన్షన్ పడ్డాను. కానీ హాస్పిటల్కి వచ్చిన తర్వాత చాలా కొద్ది రోజుల్లోనే నేను ఆ టెన్షన్ అంతా పోగొట్టుకోగలిగాను. అంతా నార్మల్ గా అయిపోయా, టెన్షన్ అంతా పోయి. అంతా దేనివల్ల అంటే మేడం, మీరు బాగా చెప్పుకోమని చెప్పారు. ఏం కాదమ్మా, ట్రీట్మెంట్ గా తీసుకుంటే బాగుంటది, నువ్వు ముందు టెన్షన్ పడద్దు అని చెప్పి ముందు నన్ను బాగా రిలాక్స్ చేశారు మేడం. మామూలు సిస్టర్స్ కూడా చాలా కౌన్సిలింగ్ ఇచ్చారు. నువ్వు అలాంటి ఆలోచనలు ఏమి పెట్టుకోవద్దు, నీకు మంచి బిడ్డ పుడుతుంది, నువ్వు టెన్షన్ మానేసి అని చెప్పి నన్ను చాలా రిలాక్స్ చేస్తారు. నాకు తర్వాత కొద్ది రోజుల్లోనే నేను చాలా మార్పు వచ్చేసింది మేడం. నాకు మంచి బిడ్డ పుడుతుంది, నాకు బాగుంటది అని చెప్పారు. బాగా నార్మల్ అయిపోయాను. 100% నా బిడ్డ బాగా హుషారుగా ఉండాలి, మంచి తెలివితేటలు ఉండాలి, బాగా చదువుకోవాలి, ధైర్యంగా ఉండాలి అనే దాని గురించి ఎప్పుడు నేను ఖాళీగా ఉంటే అప్పుడు పొట్ట మీద చేయబెట్టుకొని చెప్పుకుంటానే ఉండేదాన్ని మేడం. అక్కని నువ్వు బాగా చూసుకోవాలి అనే విషయం మాత్రం చాలా సార్లు చెప్పుకున్నాను. నేను ఎప్పుడైతే రిలాక్స్ గా ఉంటానో ఎక్కువగా నేను విష్ణు సహస్రం వింటా ఉన్నాను మేడం. చాలా సార్లు, రోజుకి ఒక 5-6 సార్లు వింటా ఉండేదాన్ని. విష్ణు సహస్రం వింటా ఉండేదాన్ని. పాపకు బాగా చెప్పుకునేదాన్ని, నువ్వు బాగా తెలివితేటలతో పుట్టాలమ్మా, నువ్వు అందంగా ఉండాలి, నాకు బాగా నువ్వు బాగా చదువుకోవాలి, సమాజంలో మంచి పేరు తెచ్చుకోవాలి. ఆ లక్షణాలు ఇప్పుడు పాపలో 100% ఉన్నాయండి. నేను మామూలుగా టీచర్, స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళిపోవాలా, ఇంట్లో చూసుకోవడానికి కొంచెం తక్కువ ఫెసిలిటీ ఉంది నాకు, చాలా తొందరగా స్కూల్లోకి వేసేసాం. టీచర్స్ ఏం చెప్పారంటే, పాప చాలా తక్కువ ఏజ్ కాదమ్మా, ఇప్పుడే తీసుకొచ్చేస్తున్నావు, పాప నేర్చుకుంటుందో నేర్చుకోలేదో అని చెప్పారు. నేను టీచర్కి ఒకటే చెప్పా, మేడం నేర్చుకోలేకపోతే మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ కూడా ఆ క్లాస్లో వేసేస్తాను మేడం, పాపని ఉండించుకోండి మేడం అని చెప్పేసి వెళ్ళాను. ఇప్పుడు మేడం పోయి అడిగితే, మీ క్లాస్ ఫస్ట్ లో ఉందమ్మా పాప, A+ గ్రేడ్ లో ఉంది, చాలా హుషారుగా ఉంది అని చెప్తుంది. పాప ఎంత బాగా నేర్చుకుంటది అంటే అంత తెలివితేటలతో ఉంది. అక్కని మేడం దాని గురించి ఇంకా ప్రత్యేకంగా చెప్పాలి మేడం. నేను ఎక్కువగా మనస్ఫూర్తిగా చెప్పేదాన్ని, అక్కని నువ్వు బాగా చూసుకోవాలమ్మా అని చెప్పేదాన్ని కదా. మన మనసు ఏ విధంగా ఉంటుందో అదే బిడ్డ మీద 100% పనిచేస్తుంది మేడం. ఇప్పుడు ఏదైనా కానీ పాపకు తీసిస్తా ఉంటే నేను అంగడి షాప్ తీసుకెళ్లి, అక్కకమ్మా అని అడగద్ది. బట్టలు ఏవైనా కొత్తగా తెచ్చినా గానీ అక్కకే అమ్మా, అక్క తీసుకున్నావా అని అడగద్ది. ఇప్పుడు తను పడుకునేది కూడా వాళ్ళ అక్క దగ్గరే పడుకుంటది. ఏమన్నా పెట్టే ముందు కూడా అక్కకు పెట్టమ్మా అని చెప్పద్ది. చాలా బాగా చూసుకుంటది మేడం నా పాప, వాళ్ళ అక్కని బాగా చూసుకుంటది. తను బాగా హుషారుగా మంచి తెలివితేటలు ఉన్నాయి మేడం. ఎన్ని రైమ్స్ చెప్పద్దు అసలు, ఇంత చిన్న వయసులో ఎన్ని రైమ్స్ చెప్తుంది, ఎంత ఆశ్చర్యపోతాం. మా అమ్మోళ్ళు అంటుంటారు మేడం, ఇదంతా ఆండాలి మేడం ట్రీట్మెంట్ వల్ల, నీ పాప ఎక్కడ పుట్టింది ఆండాలి మేడం దగ్గర, అంత మాత్రం తెలియదేట్లు ఉండవా అంటారు మేడం.
So benefits, this is about the benefits for the mothers. For delivery it is helpful, and also especially when the first baby is not a healthy child, whether it is physically or mentally challenged, they'll have lot of apprehension about this child. So when we mold this baby now, and another baby now, after 8 years the second baby she had conceived, and she also started talking to the baby. And the first child was a preterm baby, and baby's activity was less initially, and the mother put on lot of effort to bring the baby to a certain level, and then she went into the second pregnancy. And the second pregnancy, because of the talking to the baby effect, the second baby was so smart, intelligent, and the second baby was a boy, and he was so supportive of the sister. So the mother told me 5 years later, she said that we are, as a parents, we are not at all necessary. My son is enough to take care of her. And then after nearly 10 years, I met again. Then the mother said, even the first child is doing very well in school and in her other activities also. And the second son is very good in, he's an all-rounder, he said. So the effect of the sibling, younger sibling, especially emotional support, because of that, even the older one started becoming better, doing in school and even in extracurricular activities. And this is a very important achievement of Dr. Baby.
ఇనీషియల్ 3rd month ఆఫ్ ప్రెగ్నెన్సీలో మాట్లాడుకున్నాను, గట్టిగా నమ్మాను, చాలా ఇష్టంగా మాట్లాడుకున్నాను. ఎలా మాట్లాడుకున్నానంటే దట్ డిజైర్, ఫెయిత్ అండ్ లవ్ ఎవ్రీ యాక్టివిటీలో ఇన్వాల్వ్ చేశాను. ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఇప్పుడు మనందరికి మేడం ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పుంటారు, సోక్డ్ ఆల్మండ్స్ తినాలి పాప బ్రెయిన్ డెవలప్మెంట్కి అని చెప్పారు కదా. సో నేను అది తింటున్నప్పుడు నా బేబీతో కరెక్ట్ అయ్యి మాట్లాడుకునేది, నేను ఇది తింటున్నాను, ఎందుకు తింటున్నాను, ప్రస్తుతానికి నీకు ఈ డెవలప్మెంట్ జరుగుతోంది, సో ఇది నీకు హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది అన్న మోడ్లో మాట్లాడి తిన్నానండి. అడిగాను నేను, చూడు ఇలాగా నువ్వు నాకు ఒకసారి కిక్ ఇవ్వచ్చు కదా. సో అలా నాకు దో ఐ బిలీవ్ ఇన్ ఇట్, నాకు కొంచెం మోటివేషన్ ఉంటుంది అని అడిగాను నా బేబీ. నాకు నా బేబీకి మధ్యలో బాండ్, సో మా ఇద్దరిది ఎంత స్ట్రాంగ్ ఉందో నాకు తెలుసు అనుకోని ఐ వాస్ ఆస్కింగ్ మై బేబీ, ప్లీజ్ ఏదో ఒకటి ఇవ్వు అని. ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఆన్ May 8th ఆ రోజు ఇంటర్నేషనల్ మదర్స్ డే అండి. ఆ రోజు ఉదయాన్నే 11:15 మా బేబీ కదిలింది. 18th week ఆఫ్ ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ. నేను ఐ వాస్ సో ఎక్సైట్, దట్ టు ఆన్ మదర్స్ డే. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. లెటస్ ఇంకా ఎక్కువ ఇష్టంతో, ఇంకా ఎక్కువ ప్రేమతో, ఇంకా ఎక్కువ ఎఫర్ట్ పెట్టాను. సో టాక్ టు ద బేబీ టెక్నిక్లో సాంగ్ అనమాట. నేను ఒక సాంగ్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాను. నేను ఆ సాంగ్ని బాగా వింటుండేదాన్ని. పాపం మా బేబీ కూడా ఆ సాంగ్కి బాగా రెస్పాండ్ అయ్యేవాడు. సో మరి ఎలాగంటే నేను ఒకటే అనుకున్నానండి, నాకు నా బేబీ పర్సనాలిటీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, నా బేబీ నేను డిజైన్ చేసుకునే క్వాలిటీస్ ఇంపార్టెంట్, కానీ ఆ మోడ్ ఆఫ్ డెలివరీ నాకు అవసరం లేదు. సో నేనేమనుకున్నానంటే చాలా కాంపిటేటివ్ వరల్డ్, సో ఐ వాంట్ సమ్వన్ హూ ఎలా ఉండాలి అంటే నా బాబు చాణక్యుడిలా ఉండాలనుకున్నాను. నేను చెప్పుకునే క్వాలిటీస్ ఏంటంటే బాగా అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఉండాలి, ఎక్సలెంట్ కీన్ అబ్జర్వర్. రెండోది ఏంటంటే వాడికి మంచి ఫైటింగ్ స్పిరిట్ ఉండాలి, ఎప్పుడు ఐ గివ్ అప్ అనే యాటిట్యూడ్ ఉండకూడదు, హీ హ్యాస్ టు ఫైట్, అలాంటిది ఉండాలి. మూడోది ఏంటంటే ఎక్స్ప్లోరింగ్ ఉండాలి, ఏదన్నా ఎక్స్ప్లోర్ చేయాలి, థింగ్స్ని తెలుసుకోవాలి, దీన్ని ఎలా ఎలా వాడాలి. సో ఆ క్వాలిటీస్ నేను చెప్పుకున్నాను. నీకు నచ్చిన ఫీల్డ్ నువ్వు తీసుకో, కాకపోతే అది మాస్టర్ చేయి, ఆ ఆర్ట్ని మాస్టర్ చేయి అని చెప్పాను. సో మన వాడిని చేశాడు కదా, సో నేను మా వాడిని చూడాలి అని 31st weekలో వెళ్ళాను. నేను అప్పుడు వెళ్లే ముందు హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్ళే ఆ స్పాన్లో, అంటే లోపలికి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు నా బేబీకి చెప్పుకున్నా, సరే నేను ఫస్ట్ టైం చూడబోతున్నా, నాకు నువ్వు నవ్వుతూ కనిపించాలి, అదొక్కటి చెప్పుకున్నా. అలా మా బాబు మంచి పొజిషన్లోకి వచ్చి చక్కగా నవ్వుతూ కనిపించాడు. సార్ ఐ హ్యావ్ దట్ పిక్చర్. మా వాడు 31st week 32nd weekలో ఎలా ఉన్నాడు, నవ్వుతూ ఫస్ట్ ఇంటరాక్షన్ లిటరలీ, అది నేను ట్రెజర్ చేసి పెట్టుకున్నాను. లవ్ చేస్తూ ఈ జర్నీని అంతా చాలా చక్కగా ట్రావెల్ చేశానండి. సో అయిపోయింది, డెలివరీ అయిపోయింది, నాకు ఫస్ట్ టైం బేబీని చూపిస్తారు. ఫస్ట్ టైం బేబీని చూపించగానే ఎక్సైట్మెంట్ కదా, సో వెంటనే బుజ్జాయి అని పిలిచారు వాయిస్ అని. అప్పుడు దాకా గాంగ్ ఉన్నవాడు చక్కగా కళ్ళు తెరిచి ఒక నవ్వు నవ్వాడు. అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మా బేబీని ఫస్ట్ టైం చూడడానికి మా అన్నయ్య వచ్చాడు. అది జస్ట్ సెకండ్ డే రాగానే అబ్బాయి వచ్చంగా, ఏంటల్లుడు ఏంటి సంగతి, ఎలా అయింది ప్రయాణం అని సరదాగా మాట్లాడి, సరే అబ్బాయి నేను వెళ్ళొస్తాను బాయ్ అని మా అన్నయ్య అనగానే నా బేబీ ఇలా చేయొద్దండి బాయ్, జస్ట్ బాయ్ ఇలా ఇలా లేపిందండి. సెకండ్ డే అసోసియేషన్ అనమాట, ఎందుకంటే మా అన్నతో అసోసియేట్ అయి ఉన్నాడు. నేను ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ ఉన్నప్పుడు మెడిటేషన్ సెషన్స్లో ఉండేదాన్ని, మెడిటేట్ చేసుకునేదాన్ని అనమాట. ఇట్ హస్ బికమ్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ మై ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ జర్నీ. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే మా వాడు మీరు చూసారు కదా, ఇట్ వాస్ జస్ట్ 15 months, 15 నెలలు మా బాబు. ఆ టైం 6:30 to 7:30 అనగానే చక్కగా వచ్చి కూర్చుంటాడు. వాడిని ఎవరో ఒళ్ళో కూర్చోబెట్టుకోలేదు, పక్కన లేరో ఏం లేదు. ఇది ఎలా ఉందంటే నా సీట్లో వచ్చి నేను కూర్చుంటాను, నేను కంటిన్యూ అవుతా అన్నట్టు ఉన్నాడు. సో 3rd month నుంచి మా వాడు ఆ సాంగ్ ప్లే చేస్తే, కూయింగ్ అంటారు కదా, పిల్లలు సౌండ్ చేస్తారు కదా, సో ఆ పాట పాడడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. అంటే అబ్జర్వేషన్ అనమాట. ఓకే ఇది ఏసీ రిమోట్, ఓకే ఇది టీవీ రిమోట్, ఏసీ ఎందుకు దాన్ని ఏసీకే వాడాలి, దీనికి టీవీ వాడచ్చు కదా. ఓకే కొన్ని రోజులు పోయిన తర్వాత ఇది అయిపోయింది, టీవీ రిమోట్ పట్టుకెళ్ళి పక్కింటి వాళ్ళకి వెళ్తాడు, ఆ టీవీతో ఈ రిమోట్తో ఆ టీవీ ఆపరేట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఈస్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లోర్. పాకడం నేర్చుకున్నప్పుడు ముందుకు పాకాడు, దాని తర్వాత ఏంటంటే వెనక్కి పాకడం మొదలు పెట్టాడు, నడపడం. వై డోంట్ ఐ ట్రై దిస్, అలా ఎక్స్ప్లోరింగ్ క్వాలిటీ ఉంది కదా. సో దాన్ని ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే నడక కూడా ముందుకు నడిచాడు, హియస్ బోర్ కొట్టేసింది, సరే వెనక్కి నడుద్దాం, తర్వాత పక్కకు నడిచాడు. టెన్షన్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయం కదా మనము, ఓకే క్వాలిటీ ఇలాగని. సో టాక్ టు ద బేబీ టెక్నిక్ నేను చాలా ఎంబ్రేస్ చేసుకున్నాను.
For the baby, for breastfeeding, it becomes very easy when they play the song or when their mother sings also. Then the breastfeeding is very effective. The mother gets adequate milk, and also while sleeping, this becomes a womb song becomes the lullaby. And as the parents do the talking to the baby after delivery, once they start continuing this, these babies, they talk early, they communicate better, and also they learn languages, music, and mathematics very easily. Their IQ levels are high. And another important thing is, we know Prahalada, who carried Rakshasa genes. Genetically, he is a Rakshasa whose father had hatred for Lord Srihari, whereas because of Narada's teachings, he developed into an ardent devotee of Sri Mahavishnu. So against the genetic makeup, that is what we need to, who should have developed hatred for Srihari, he developed devotion. This is the impact of this is something like an epigenetics also. Overruling this genetic effect, he became a strong devotees. So genes are there, but they are not expressed. This is what used in epigenetics. The genes are there, they are turned off because of certain vitamins, and also the positive thinking. So some of the diseases, this epigenetics, they work very well. And another thing, this is about the being or the character. Abhimanyu is about the having, that is skill. And recent past, we have personalities who have been developed by the mother's intention. That is Swami Vivekananda by his mother, Bhuvaneswari Devi, who did lot of pujas 2-3 years before his birth. And the shining example, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj by Jija Mata. Even before she was married, she wanted to have a very strong son who would be a very great king. So it is said, Chanakya, who has written ideal characteristics of a king, and all this fit in with Shivaji Maharaj. So he is a very good example of designer baby. And French psychologist Emily Coué gave an example. This talking to the baby can be developed for a whole country. He says in his book that in Athens, mothers they wanted to have intelligent children, and so they were longing for it. So they all had intellectuals, whereas Spartan mothers, they wanted the children to be very strong and courageous, and they became very good warriors. So it is the mother's intention that sow the seed during pregnancy, so it sprouts the same, it yields the same fruit as it grows. So Israel also nowadays, as a country level, Israelis are very good. They are intelligent, because to develop intelligent, they made it into culture that the mothers eat dates, almonds, and fish, and they play piano, and they do sums also, so during pregnancy. And the children, for them also, they make them learn instrumental musics from the childhood only. So that is how 25% of Nobel laureates, they come from Israel. And in our own country, during freedom struggle, so many leaders of great caliber were born across the country. This is because our mothers at that time had strong intention to develop very great leaders as an offering to the country. There is an African proverb which says, it takes a village to raise a child. A child not embraced by the village burns it down to feel its warmth. And that is what is happening now. we have put lot of concentration on education and success and career. So our children are doing very well in education, sports, and other activities, whereas we have forgotten to lay stress on character building, and the results we are reaping in the form of in a lack of understanding and increase in the divorce rate, increase in suicide, child suicide rates, and increase in old age homes. So, what should we do now? And another very distressing thing is increasing in the rates of autism and ADHD during children, especially for the past 10 years, it has been on alarmingly increasing. It is because of environmental risk factors, could be because of substance abuse and heavy metals, food additives, obesity, and for maternal folate levels. Another important thing is maternal stress. And Dr. Elizabeth Hurlock, who has written a book on developmental psychology, says when the mother is under a lot of stress, the child has difficulty in taking feeding, sleeping, and during the wakeful time, it will be crying incessantly. And we have seen such examples also. And as the baby grows, they'll have interpersonal development. They'll not go to others. Interpersonal development relationship will not be good, and they'll have learning difficulties. Memory will be less, and when they as they grow, when they feel unloved and rejected, their physical development will be less, and they'll have hyperactivity, and their motor and speech will be uh, delay. So what we need to do is, along with success, family bonding and integrity, so that we need to remember in the past, that is 50 years back, when the literacy rate was less, and the economic level was also, they were very poor, but there was happiness in the family and peace in the society. This is what we need to remember, along with laying importance on education. We need to lay stress on character building also, so that there'll be happiness in the family and peace in the society. Practice it as a culture, then we will be restoring our ancient glory of our country. So, based on this, my experiences, it's a book for everyone at any age. They can read it because they can share this information, and they can inspire or motivate the mothers who don't know about it. So, from the school or college, children, if they know, they can practice it during pregnancy. Even some people will tell, yeah, oh, we didn't know at that time. Don't worry. Even now, you can tell your grandchildren, or you can niece or nephew, whoever comes across you. It is everyone's duty that we produce very good children, useful as a gift to the family, and also very great asset to the nation. Thank you.